What is up, everyone? Ray Low Vapes here. Ray Lopez from Ray Low Vapes here. Whatever. Trying to come up with some stupid catchphrase. Anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is one of my favorite clones I have ever had. And surprisingly, I got it from fucking Fasttech. Buh. I don't like Fasttech. I've had issues with them in the past. They might have redeemed themselves with this. This right here, if you don't already know, is the Pegasus Clone. Look at the fucking engravings on this thing, dude. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Copper 18650. Beautiful clone. Beautiful clone. A little backstory on this, even though you guys probably don't necessarily care to hear the backstory, but I'm going to tell you anyways, because whatever, my video, I can do what I want. So I had a customer come into my shop, and we don't like to talk about Fasttech in the shop, but private little conversation we had, and he came up to me and he's like, Ray, you need to go and watch Twisted 420, which I watch anyway, so that's not a big thing. He's like, you need to go watch a review that he did on a Pegasus clone from a company called Vape. Well, Twisted 420 did a review on 3 versions. He had the authentic Pegasus. He had one that I don't care to remember because he said it was a big pile of steamy hot shit. And then he had the Vape version. Well, the Vape version outperformed the authentic. Just the margin. But the main thing that drew my attention was the deep CNC engravings, where the authentic just had little laser engravings, which from my personal experience, laser engravings eventually wear off fairly quick. Like with my Stingray, my brass Stingray wore off really quick. But these had the deep CNC engravings, which you can see there. This spells Pegasus in Greek. And then same thing with the Pegasus logo here up in front. Extremely deep. And then you have the button, which has the exact same deep engravings. So that really drew my attention. To me, this was my first solid copper mod, which it's copper through and through, and I have it sitting on a copper Stellar clone with a awesome super wide bore drip tip from the fine people over at Vapetastic. But anyways, it's not about any of those. It's about the Pegasus. So before I go any further into this and talk about how much I fucking love this device, let's go ahead and dip down into up close mode and take this thing apart. Do it really quick. There's not much to show you on this, and show you what this Fasttech clone is made out of. All right, so hold tight. Let's go into up close mode. Okay, so here we are in up close mode with the Fasttech Pegasus clone. Now, I don't know exactly who made this. If it was Vape or not, there is a difference between this and the Vape, so we'll get into that. So first things first, you could see nice brushed copper tube, nice and shiny because I just buffed this bad boy out. You have your Pegasus logo there. You have your locking ring, which you could see is a little bit wider than the actual mod, which makes it really easy to grab, and it's knurled, so very easy to control. Only, it's probably about what, one full twist? Yeah, one full twist to lock and unlock. Here's your top, very basic. No airflow control at the top of this because you don't want to be using anything that needs your mod to have airflow control on this. This is for us crazy mech guys that like to blow fat clouds, or just if you like copper. Okay, so let's take that battery out. And here, very thick threads. Very smooth. Very smooth. Buttery smooth, as they like to call it. Let's go ahead and push out the floating pin here. So you can see inside there we have our floating pin. This just pushes right out. And for all you people that always correct me on this, here's my Delrin insulator. So you have Delrin insulator here in the cap. And now we have our floating pin. So here's our floating pin. This is the little point right here where you're making connection to your atomizer. Again, solid copper. We have this piece here that adjusts for battery rattle. Oh, Sorry about that. Someone messaged me. Anyways, let me go ahead and close that out real quick because that's kind of annoying, right? All right. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Back to where we're going. Okay, so here's where you adjust for battery rattle. Nice, long screw here, unlike, say, the GU and some of these other adjustable pins. So we got our pin here. Again, everything, just everything's copper. Beautiful, beautiful. It looks like the red copper. And it all has a nice brushed finish, except for the pin itself, which is nice and shiny. So let's go ahead and screw that back in. Big fan of this. This was a big plus for me, is how long this pin is, how wide this pin is. It's a nice, fat, long pin, which I'm sure many of you like long, fat things. Anyways, okay, so let's go down into the button. So here's your tube. Here's your nice, solid copper tube with the engravings and all that happy stuff. You can see there is one issue with this, which I'll go ahead and go over when I go in the pros and cons, but the logo in here, it's kind of off. It kind of does one of these things and kind of goes off to the side, but not a big deal, right? So here we go. Copper tube, nice threading, both sides. Now we have our pin here. Let's go ahead and take that apart and show you the main difference that I found between this and the VapeTech version. All right, so let's unscrew this here. All right, and you can see your 4 holes right there for battery venting. All right, so when we take this off, we have this spring, but let me show you the spring it actually came with, because I did upgrade my spring. Okay, here's the spring it comes with. Kind of a cheap little flimsy spring. I mean, it's got some decent tension on it, but it's one of those kind of flimsy ones. So I adjusted mine with a nice little spare spring that I had. It's a little bit stiffer. So basically that's how it came with this spring. This is the one thing I would throw away. The VapeTech version comes with magnets. I haven't quite figured out the size magnets. The NEMI ones don't work from what I've tried in the past. Sorry, I'm like quiet burping. I don't know what quiet burping. So here's our locking ring here. Kind of dirty. I didn't polish this part. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So that's basically how your button works. Your locking ring, which is reverse threaded, screws in there. And you have your spring here, which of course I upgraded to a little bit more powerful spring. That goes in there. And your pin, your bottom pin, just screws right down into it. Very, very simple design. Very, 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 very well done. Doesn't need to be super fancy, you know what I mean? This is a mod based purely on performance. Again, with the nice, thick, buttery threading there. So yeah, that's it. Very, very simple design. But it just, it kicks, makes a lot of vapor, has very, very low voltage drop, which I'll go over that when we go back into regular mode. So you can see here, this screw or just pushes back on, and let me just show you how this works. So I take off the top cap, screw on my atomizer, and see if I can show you this a little more up closey. Now watch how, as I screw this down, pushes that pin right out. So screw right down nice and flush, pins out, and then with these longer 510s, you barely need to have that sitting like that. Screw this on, and I still got a little gap there, so perfect. Everything is perfect. Unlock, lock, and there you go. That is the Pegasus up close. Let's go back up to regular mode, talk about it, vape on it. Ooh, try it. Anyways, so that was up close mode. You got to see the internals, how the button works, how the locking ring works, and all that good stuff. So as you can see, well manufactured. It was very, very, very well done. I'm thoroughly impressed, especially a product coming from Fasttech, which I've had a lot of bad luck with in the past. But this one seems to be good. And also, another thing that cued me into it when I was looking it up on Fasttech, and I'll put the link to the Fasttech version below, was Twisted 420 also posted in the Fasttech group in the discussions saying that he believes this is the Vape version, which it very much well could be, and they just took the magnets out and put springs. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a clone of a clone. Either way, it works amazingly well, even on my voltage drop tests, where I don't know where that is. But I'm just going to tell you, when I did test it, I tested it on the Fogger V4 Plus, which I just reviewed, which was at, I believe, a 0.5 when I tested it. And then I tested it on the Copper Stellar, and this one was at a 0.1. So under extreme load, same battery. And at 0.5, I was getting about a 0.15 voltage drop at a 0.5. And then when I came down to a 0.1, I was barely getting about a 0.25 voltage drop, which is extremely impressive when you're dealing with such low resistance as a 0.1 that I do on this one. So let me go ahead and take a vape, show you how this works. This is also it's a 0.1 with Royal Wire, 22 gauge. Wow. Yeah, that's lots of vapor. Also helps it's Royal Wire too. This stuff is pretty impressive. That comes later. So anyway, let me go over the specs on how they have this listed at the website, which, if you don't know, is fasttech.com. So it says 510 threading connection. Of course, we have a bottom spring-loaded firing button with a lock done clockwise. No, that is not. That's counterclockwise. Anyways, we're going to have a little English in here with logo engravings on the tube and the bottom. Battery tube diameter of 22 millimeters, and houses a single 18650 battery, which of course you would have to buy that on your own. And they say, please note, copper mod will oxidize when exposed to the air as shown in the latest picture. Please make sure you accept this before placing an order. Yes. Copper, if you don't already know, patinas very quick. But as shiny as it is right now, in about an hour or two, it's going to slightly start to patina. But here's the big but here. Not mine, but this. When you're handling copper, you are going to get a little bit of green on your hands. I don't have it because I just cleaned everything. But the more you use it, the less it patinas. So if you're handling this thing all day like I am, it doesn't leave my hand for more than an hour at a time. It keeps a nice, decent shine to it. It's still slightly patinas, but it's not going to turn black and look completely horrible. Now, if you wanted to do this so you never have to worry about it patina, is polish it, get it nice and shiny just like I have it now, and then get yourself some clear lacquer or a nice good clear coat and, you know, spray it on there. Probably be better than trying to brush it on. I'm a painter. I kind of know things about paint stuff. So take like a nice clear coat, put a clear coat on here, and at least then you don't have to worry about this, you know, getting all nasty and grimy on you if you like the look of nice shiny brush copper. And let's see, we're gonna keep going down here. Dimensions, it says it's 24 millimeters, which I'm guessing they're talking about the locking ring. The locking ring is 24 millimeters, but like I said, I think in the authentic it's a little bit thinner. It's probably like a 23, maybe even a 22. It's close to it. I actually like this better because I'm not grabbing on the button, because the button just freely spins in here. So with the locking ring, it makes it very convenient to have it sticking out. And let's see here. It says height is 97 millimeters, product weight 128 grams. Of course, I'm American. I don't know that stuff. Actually, I kind of do, but I'm not going to go into it. Let's just play America. I only know America standard. That's what I go off of. But yeah, that's what it is. 128 grams, 97 millimeters, and it is 22 millimeter tube with 24 millimeter locking ring. Now you might be going, Ray, what's the price? What's the price? What is the price on this? Vape version. If you find it in America, the Vape version with the magnets, which I almost want to say is 99.9% identical other than the spring instead of a magnet, you're probably looking at about 50 bucks from what I've seen. Anywhere from like 45, 55 bucks is what I've seen online from American websites. Fasttech has this $25.93 and free shipping. Now, shipping with Fasttech can be up and down. Like right now it says it ships in 5 business days. So you're going to wait about 5 business days before they even ship it. And then I think I got lucky. I did use the e-packet option, which is still free. The e-packet option through China Post, and I did receive mine within 8 days of them shipping. And it said 5 business days. It shipped in 4 business days. So technically I got that around about 12 days. Not bad. Not bad. That's the fastest I've ever had from Fasttech. Normally it takes about a month to 2 months sometimes to get product from them. So just keep that in mind. If you do order from Fasttech, it is very cheap at $25.93. Extremely good quality. It's nice, thick copper. Everything's copper. It's not copper plated. I've polished this thing, buffed this thing out, everything inside and out. This is 100% copper. And holy shit, it fires harder than any other mod I've ever used. Now, I know that might kind of sound like another reviewer out there that says a lot of things about, yeah, well, I'm not going to get into that. Not going to do that. Vape drama, bad. I'm not bullshitting you here, people. The Pegasus hits fucking hard. It hits so damn hard. When I first got it, the first thing I did is I slapped the Fogger V4 on here just to see, and it was at a 0.5, and I choked. And I don't choke at a 0.5. I was impressed. I was, wow, the vapor production was so much greater because of the lack of voltage drop that you get with a solid, well-machined copper device. And this delivers that. Let's go into the pros and cons. Pros and cons of the Pegasus from Fasttech. Let's go into the cons first, because there's really not many cons. First con, the one thing that bothered me right out of the box, which isn't that big of a deal. I think most people could probably care less about that, or couldn't care less, whatever. It is the lettering, all right? The Greek lettering. I don't know if you can really see it on camera so much, but see how the lines from the light are going down, and they're lined up with the N at the top, or whatever the hell you want to call that. Greek. Again, America. You can see here that it slightly goes a little off. So that's one thing that was kind of the biggest con for me. And if that's the biggest con on a device, yeah, that's not bad, right? I said again. Fuck. The engravings themselves are wonderful. They're so deep, very well done. There's no sharp edges. Very, very clean, other than just kind of totally superficial. It does not cause any problems with the device itself. Another con, how fast the patina is. But that's copper. Copper in general, if it's not clear coated or doesn't have a coating on top, it's going to patina. It's going to patina quick. You're going to have green on your hands. I guess I can't really tell you if it smells like pennies or not. I just sat there and hit it with the Never Dull. So it smells like Never Dull by Eagle One. Another plug. It's what I use to polish it. So you are going to get green. It is going to patina, and it's going to patina quick. So be prepared for that. You're going to polish it unless you like the patina look. Then knock yourself out, let it age and get all old and beat up, or even force patina and get all those cool random little colors going on there. Whatever you like to do. It's just personal opinion. That's kind of a con, especially if you don't want to sit there and have to polish all the time. I don't mind it personally, so not that big of a deal, but that's it. It's really all I have for cons on this. There was one other issue that I noticed a lot of people were having, and I did have it right in the beginning when it was fresh, within like the first couple days. I did have... I want to try and... own shit. The locking ring here. Word of advice that I try and tell everyone, but I make the same mistake all the time too. When you're locking it, don't lock it all the way tight. You don't need to take it all the way up until it stops. You can always take it till it stops and then back off a little bit. So what was happening is people were going tight on it while it was nice and cold. Or even, when it was warm after they'd been vaping on it, right? And they tightened it up, and then as it started to cool back down and everything started to shrink, this would seize, and had a hell of a time trying to loosen it up. Quick fix for that. A really easy way of doing this now. Sorry, it's fucking warm in here. Unscrew here. Take your button apart. And then, you know, grab a towel or something that you have that's nice and soft, maybe a microfiber. Get yourself some toothless needle nose. And I grabbed in like this. I came in from underneath. I took the button out, grabbed it, and popped it. And it moved. It didn't damage the copper, which is very easy to do because copper is very soft metal. But that's the way I was able to fix that issue. So that's really it for the cons. Pros. Pros. How many pros do we have on this? Pros. Hardest hitting fucking mod I've ever used. Full fucking copper. Everything about it kicks ass. I've never had a device fire so hard, so quick. I mean, this also was a build done on the Royal wires, so it does help it speed up a little bit quick. But watch this. Ready? I'm going to hit the button right now. Now. You see how much vapor this thing, and it's barely getting a voltage drop. Barely. I'm not going to bother looking through this catastrophe of a desk right now to grab it, but I'm sure if you've watched Twisted 420's review, you've seen him do the voltage drop test. And again, like he says, I say the same thing. It's really, you know, up in the air how much that really gauges and how accurate it really is. But just for my own personal testing on multiple different devices that I have, from stainless steel, brass, black copper, this is outperformed. It's noticeable for me. Number wise, it doesn't seem that great, but when I'm hitting it, I can notice a dramatic difference on vapor volume. So yeah, that's pros. Nice brushed copper, solid copper. Another pro, price $25.93. $25.93 with free shipping. So that's $25.93 to your door. That's all you're paying for a fantastic, hard-hitting, hits harder than the authentic, looks better, in my opinion, than the authentic, and the better locking ring. Some people might find that unattractive, but personally, I didn't buy this for looks. I bought this for performance. When I saw all the different reviews, heard from multiple people, and then saw it, and then for $25.93, I couldn't say no. And I'm very, very happy I bought this. So if you don't want to go to Fasttech, you don't want to wait, find the Vape Tech version from a US vendor and have that sent to you, and you'll have it within a couple days. Or if you don't mind waiting, you got a couple mods and you're just like, you know what, I'll get this. It'll show up when it shows up. Go to fasttech.com. Pick yourself up one of these Pegasus clones. And I will post the link to the description below. And hopefully you enjoy it as much as I do, because I really love it. I have not wanted to use anything other than these, you know, black copper Stingray and a full copper Pegasus. I'm getting the copper addiction, I think. So there you go, you guys. That's my review on the Pegasus from Fasttech. I want to say it's the Vape Tech version, but I can't be for sure because it is Fasttech and they don't tell you. So there you go, you guys. Again, thank you so much for watching my videos. If you want, subscribe. If not, don't subscribe. If you think I'm a jackass and my videos suck, right on. Whatever you think, you don't have to. I just wanted to share this with you guys, and hopefully some of you guys go out there and buy this and enjoy the shit out of it like I do. And also want to say thanks to Mike Martinez for ordering these awesome Cotton Collective t-shirts for the Cotton Collective group, which I'll have a link below for that as well. So there you go. That's my review for today on the Pegasus from Fasttech, which I know I've repeated. So anyways, thank you for watching, and as always, vape on.